Did you know that in Iceland, the summer sun can refuse to set for days on end, while winter plunges the entire island into total darkness? It is a place of pure magic, where fiery volcanoes and frozen glaciers sit shoulder to shoulder, and where the impossible feels ordinary. Imagine a land where you might casually bump into the president taking a dip in a local hot tub. And don't forget, Icelanders are incredibly bold when it comes to romance. They even have a dedicated smartphone app to check their family tree just to make sure they aren't accidentally dating a cousin. But that is just the tip of the iceberg. Are you ready to uncover the secrets of the North? Join us as we count down 15 mind-blowing truths about this Nordic wonder in today's travel documentary. Iceland, famously called the land of ice and fire, sits isolated in the North Atlantic, hugging the Arctic Circle like a mysterious recluse that prefers its own company. With a land mass of roughly 103,000 square kilometers, just a little bigger than the US state of Hawaii, it is spacious enough to house active volcanoes, colossal ice caps, and dramatic black coastlines. The climate here is unlike anywhere else. Summers are nature's perfect air conditioning, cool and bright, while winters are famously dark and biting. Yet, thanks to the warm embrace of the Gulf Stream, it's not as frozen as you might expect for a place so far north. Despite its size, the population is tiny. Only about 400,000 people call this island home, which is fewer people than you'd find in a single mid-sized American city. This makes it one of the most empty, spacious countries on the planet. The people are almost entirely of Nordic descent, the striking sons and daughters of Vikings. They speak Icelandic, an ancient language that has barely changed in centuries, making it a living fossil of human speech. But don't worry, almost everyone speaks perfect English, so you'll never feel lost. Join the exploration. Hit that subscribe button now. They say you need sunshine for a beach day, but not here. Reynisfjara is the legendary black sand beach of the south coast, a place widely considered the most beautiful non-tropical beach on Earth. Forget golden sands and tanning, this place mesmerizes you with a landscape that feels alien, as if you've landed on a different planet entirely, located about a 2.5-hour drive from the capital through fields of lava. This beach is guarded by massive basalt columns that tower over the sand like the walls of an ancient fortress. The waves here are ferocious, sometimes crashing as high as 40 feet, creating a scene worthy of a Hollywood blockbuster. And here's a fascinating cultural fact in Iceland: the freedom to enjoy nature is sacred. On beaches like this, you will often find locals immersing themselves in the elements in their own way. As long as you aren't bothering anyone else, personal freedom in nature is the law of the land. Walk down a street in Reykjavik and you might think you've walked into a fantasy novel. Icelandic women often have that striking Norse goddess look, porcelain skin and piercing blue eyes. But their beauty is secondary to their fierce independence. These are women who know exactly what they are worth. They run companies, author bestsellers, hike glaciers, and raise families, often doing it all on their own with a no-big-deal attitude. Icelandic women are incredibly progressive when it comes to love, and dating apps like Tinder are wildly popular here. But there is a catch. With such a tiny population of 400,000, everyone is practically a neighbor. The risk of accidentally dating a distant relative is genuinely high. To solve this, locals use the Icelandic app, a genius piece of tech that warns you if your date is actually your cousin Wild, right? So do Icelandic women marry foreigners? Absolutely. They don't care about your nationality, they care about respect and commitment. If you treat them right, they are known to be fiercely loyal partners. Do you want to know the secret to making friends or finding a date in Iceland using social media? If yes, drop a comment with the number 8, and we will share some exclusive tips just for you. In Iceland, hot tubs are not just a luxury item for a spa day. They are the beating heart of the country's social life. From the crack of dawn until deep into the night, you will find Icelanders soaking in these geothermal pools, not just to wash away stress, but to connect with their community. It's like their version of the local pub, but much wetter and warmer. These pools, often heated naturally by the earth to a perfect 37 to 40 degrees Celsius, are where the real conversations happen. The most amazing part? In the water, all social barriers dissolve. You could be splashing around next to a fisherman, a school teacher, or even the president of Iceland, and everyone is treated exactly the same. There is no hierarchy here. Locals believe these tubs cleanse more than just the body, they cleanse the soul. The warm water loosens tongues and opens hearts, keeping this small, tight-knit society connected. If you visit, skipping the hot tub is like visiting Paris and ignoring the Eiffel Tower. You simply have to jump in to understand the true Icelandic spirit. Never miss a new video. Hit subscribe now. Amid the endless snowy expanses and sleeping volcanoes, there is a hidden culture that few outsiders know about. Icelanders have perfected the art of isolation. Many locals choose to build small wooden cabins in the most remote corners of the island, far away from the chaos of modern life. This isn't just a weekend getaway, it is a deep-rooted philosophy of slow living. These tiny sanctuaries are often built by hand, nestled into the landscape as if they grew there. They symbolize a profound harmony with the land. Reaching them can be an adventure in itself, often requiring a long hike or a rugged super jeep to cross the terrain. And here is the kicker, this isn't just a vacation. Many Icelanders live and work in these huts year-round, sometimes completely off the grid. No electricity, no internet, just spring water and wind power. It is a way to reconnect with their ancient heritage, channeling the spirit of the Vikings, who once lived in sync with this wild environment. With over 300 of these self-built refuges scattered across the country, it is a living tradition of finding peace in solitude. When you think of cutting-edge biotechnology, you might think of Silicon Valley or Tokyo, but surprisingly, Iceland holds the title for the world's most comprehensive genetic bank relative to its population. With only 400,000 people, the country has become a goldmine for geneticists. A massive portion of the population, nearly two-thirds, has voluntarily participated in a project with Decode Genetics to map their DNA. Why? To hunt down hereditary diseases that have been passed down since the Viking Age. The government strongly supports this biological archive, seeing it not just as ancestry research, but as a weapon against cancer, heart disease, and Alzheimer's. It is a national effort to protect future generations. Nowhere else on Earth can you trace your lineage so precisely. With just a few clicks, an Icelander can see exactly which Viking bloodline runs through their veins. It is a futuristic experience that only this unique island can offer. Unlock the world with us. Click subscribe. Up in northern Iceland, there is a place where the 21st century simply does not exist. Here, you will find a Viking village that is far more than just a museum display. It is a living, breathing recreation of life from 1,000 years ago. Locals and enthusiasts here live and work exactly as their ancestors did, maintaining a level of historical accuracy that is nothing short of obsessive. From the thatched roofs of the small wooden longhouses to the tools they use, everything is authentic. But this isn't just for looking. Visitors are invited to step into the shoes of a Viking warrior. You can try your hand at chopping wood with an axe, weaving ancient fabrics, or baking bread on scorching hot stones. The real magic happens when you don't full Viking armor. You can feel the weight of history and the fierce independence that defined this era. If you visit during Christmas or special festivals, the energy explodes with Viking boat races and combat reenactments, immersing you in the raw, rugged spirit of the old gods. Reykjavik is a city with a split personality, and both sides are mesmerizing. By day, under the rare and precious sunlight, the capital is a cozy haven. The streets buzz with a gentle energy as locals sip coffee in colorful cafes, mothers push strollers down cobblestone paths, and students cycle to class. It is a charming blend of old-world wooden houses and sharp modern architecture that steals the heart of every traveler. Locals love to escape to the nearby Blue Lagoon or go whale watching in the bay, embracing the outdoors no matter the weather. But when the sun goes down, Reykjavik transforms into a different beast entirely. The nightlife here is legendary. Rooftop bars and underground clubs pulse with energy, offering spectacular views of the ocean while blasting everything from EDM to rock. And here is a fun fact, Icelanders are obsessed with karaoke. It is practically a national sport. Whether in a crowded bar, a private home, or even soaking in a hot tub, you will hear people singing their hearts out until the early hours of the morning. To say Iceland is beautiful is an understatement. It is a paradise of strange and majestic scenery that you simply cannot find anywhere else on Earth. First, there is the iconic Blue Lagoon, the world's most famous geothermal spa. Its milky turquoise waters are rich in silica, known for working miracles on the skin. But the real draw is the setting, relaxing in warm water surrounded by jagged black lava fields. Feels like a spa day on the moon. Then there is the frozen giant, Vatnajökull National Park. It is home to one of Europe's largest glaciers. A dreamland for adventurers who want to explore crystal blue ice caves or climb frozen peaks. These caves are natural wonders, glowing with a deep, surreal blue light that has to be seen to be believed. And for those who crave fire over ice, the Landmannalaugar region in the Highlands is a must. Known for its multicolored rhyolite mountains and steaming hot springs, it offers hiking trails that wind through emerald lakes and red cliffs, creating a visual explosion that feels like a painting come to life. Yes, you heard that right. Iceland essentially has an elf protection agency. It sounds like something straight out of a Disney movie, but in Iceland, the existence of elves and mystical beings is treated with genuine seriousness. In fact, multi-million-dollar construction projects have literally been shut down because they were suspected of disturbing the invisible homes of these creatures. A national survey revealed a mind-blowing statistic. Up to 54% of the population believes that elves, forest spirits, and hidden people might actually exist. Believe it or not, when a major highway was planned in western Reykjavik, locals launched fierce protests, claiming the road would cut right through the habitat of the Holdu folk, the hidden people. The result? The government actually stopped the project, redesigned the route, and changed their entire plan just to keep the peace. There is even a famous local figure known as the Elf language translator. In a country that is a world leader in genetics and tech, this deep respect for the mystical is one of Iceland's most charming and baffling contrasts. Loving this? Smash that subscribe button right now. If you have ever been driven crazy by the high-pitched whine of a mosquito or found ants raiding your kitchen, Iceland might just be your promised land. It is a true biological paradise because it is one of the very few countries on Earth that has absolutely zero mosquitoes and zero ants. Scientists explain that this miracle is due to the island's unique and harsh climate. The volcanic soil and the rapidly changing weather make it impossible for these insects to complete their life cycles. The temperature swings, freezing one moment and thawing the next, are a death sentence for mosquito larvae. While other nations spend billions fighting insect-borne diseases, in Iceland, you can hike through the wildest swamps and forests without a single worry about bug bites. It is pure freedom. One of the biggest shocks for visitors is Iceland's incredibly strict relationship with alcohol. If you walk into a regular grocery store expecting to grab a bottle of wine or a six-pack for the evening, you are going to be disappointed. It simply isn't there. In Iceland, alcohol is sold exclusively in special state-run stores called Vinbúðin. These government-operated shops are the only game in town, and there's a catch. Their opening hours are very limited. You can't just pop in whenever you want, especially on weekends or evenings. This system makes Iceland vastly different from the US or the UK, where booze is available on every corner. The government keeps a tight grip on sales to control consumption and prevent abuse. Don't miss the next adventure, hit subscribe! Iceland is a land of strange surprises, and their festivals are no exception. Imagine thousands of people dressed in elaborate costumes, playing ancient traditional games, and turning the streets into a scene of pure joy. It feels less like a party and more like stepping into a magical alternate reality, where wonder is just a part of daily life. If you are a music lover, the Iceland Airwaves Festival is legendary. Held in the grip of the cold winter, it turns Reykjavik into one massive open-air stage. What makes it unforgettable is the venue's bands play everywhere, from tiny corner cafes to massive old industrial warehouses, blending modern art with the city's raw atmosphere. But there is another celebration you absolutely cannot miss. Beer Day on March 1st. This holiday marks the end of a decades-long ban on beer. On this day, locals flood the bars, raising glass after glass to celebrate freedom, national pride, and the simple joy of a cold brew. Wait, why was beer banned in Iceland in the first place? It's a crazy story. Leave a comment with the number 6, and I'll tell you exactly why. If you have ever daydreamed about moving to Iceland, you might be shocked by one of its biggest secrets: the cost of living versus the quality of life. Sure, it's not cheap, but it offers incredible value. More than 99% of the country's electricity comes from hydro and geothermal energy. This means utility bills are surprisingly low, and the environment is pristine. No factory smog, just crisp, clean air. It is a green paradise. Let's talk numbers. Renting a one-bedroom apartment in downtown Reykjavik will set you back about $1,200 a month. Sounds high? Maybe, but consider this. Utilities like electricity, water, and super-fast internet only cost around $200 a month, thanks to that renewable energy. Groceries can be pricey. Expect to spend $300 to $400 a month if you cook at home. Public transport is roughly $100, and a gym membership is about $50 to $70. All in all, a monthly budget of $2,000 to $2,500 is usually enough to live comfortably. It's an investment, but for a peaceful life surrounded by nature and friendly locals, many say it is worth every penny. Thinking about retiring or settling down in this Nordic haven? Before you pack your bags, here's what you need to know. If you are a US citizen, you can visit Iceland visa-free for up to 90 days. But if you want to stay longer or move here permanently, you will need to apply for a long-term residence permit, a process that usually takes 1 to 3 months. If you're from the EU, it's even easier. You just need to register upon arrival. And why wouldn't you want to stay? Iceland has no military, and its crime rate is so low that it is practically non-existent. It is often compared to a peaceful retirement village where even the prisons look more like relaxing retreats than jails. To retire here, you just need proof of stable finances and health insurance. It is a simple process for a life of absolute safety. We put a lot of passion into uncovering these stories for you. If you appreciate the effort, hitting subscribe is the best way to say thanks. Finally, we reach the most delicious and sometimes dangerous part of Icelandic culture, the food. Iceland is a paradise for foodies who are tired of the ordinary. The most iconic staple is skyr, a super creamy dairy product that looks like yogurt but is actually a fresh cheese. It has been fueling Vikings for over 1,000 years and is still the perfect healthy breakfast today. Then there is the legendary Icelandic lamb soup, a hearty, warming bowl of comfort made from fresh lamb, root vegetables, and herbs. It is basically a hug in a bowl. And of course, being an island, the seafood is unbeatable. The salmon and cod here are caught fresh from the icy Atlantic and cooked simply to let the natural flavors shine. But wait, did you know there is a traditional Icelandic dish that was once a source of national pride but is now actually banned or considered too dangerous for regular consumption? Drop a comment with the number 2, and I will reveal the fascinating pungent story behind it. From the black sands of the south to the northern lights dancing above the Arctic Circle, Iceland is proof that the most magical places on Earth are often the most extreme. We have explored the fire, the ice, the hidden elves, and a culture that values freedom and connection above all else. But this journey is far from over, and we want to hear from you. Before you go, don't forget to unlock those secret stories we mentioned earlier. If you are curious about finding love in the North, drop a number 8 in the comments. Want to know the crazy history behind the beer ban? That's a number 6. And if you are brave enough to learn about the banned Icelandic dish that terrified a nation, leave us a number 2. We will be replying to your comments with those exclusive details. So here's the question of the day. Would you be brave enough to live in one of those isolated cabins without internet? Or would you prefer the wild nightlife of Reykjavik? Let us know your choice below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the land of Vikings, please hit that like button. It really helps the channel support more adventures like this. Make sure you're subscribed and have that notification bell turned on, because in our next documentary, we are traveling to a country that is completely opposite to Iceland, a place of scorching heat and ancient desert mysteries that you won't believe exist. Quick reminder, if you haven't subscribed yet, click that button now to join our growing community of explorers. Thank you for exploring the world with us. Stay curious, stay adventurous, and we will see you in the next video.